opinion to try to bypass the court of law. That's the invitation that he is beginning to extend to each American. And some Americans, as Pierre is pointing out, law enforcement is concerned, might take that invitation up. My hunch is most won't. They'll wait for the courts to do their work.
Byron Pitts, thank you, Terry. Byron Pitts, Terry just used the phrase cultural war.
Yeah, I mean, George, and listen to the president today. He could have said Tucson, but instead he said Detroit. He could have said Scranton, Pennsylvania, or State College. He said Philadelphia. And I think, as our president has said, it is what it is, right? This fits a pattern with him. And, George, also, I've been thinking, listening to Chris Christie talk and some of the other Republicans, it seems like we may be approaching one of those Barry Goldwater moments, right? In 1974, he went to the president and said, sir, for the sake of the country, the party, you need to back away. And this is something, as you know, I always look at history to see when we're in some moment. And this is a quote from Barry Goldwater. Those who seek absolute power, even though they seek to do what they regard as good, are simply demanding their own version of heaven on earth. And it seems to me the president made clear tonight his version of heaven on earth is staying in the White House, keeping his job, as opposed to honoring our election system.
Byron Pitts, thank you. Martha Raddatz, test of all our institutions, as Terry Moran just said. The president is also commander-in-chief, and the top brass in the military put out the word clearly over the weekend and the days leading up to this election that they want no part of this election.
And they have no part in this election, whether disputed or otherwise, and they have no part in the transfer of power. Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, did make it very clear. He said the Constitution and laws of the U.S. and the states establish procedures for carrying out elections and for resolving disputes over the outcome. I do not see the U.S. military as part of this process. That is what he wrote to Congress a few months ago when the question was asked from members of Congress. They want nothing to do with this. And if you remember, of course, Mark Milley was on his way to Lafayette Square with President Trump in that photo op. He was terribly embarrassed by that. He apologized after that for being anywhere near that photo opportunity.
And Martha, you're our chief global affairs anchor as well. What's your sense of how the world is watching what's happening here right now?
I think this really unnerves our allies. It truly does. They want to stay